Hey guys, Gaston with Rough Country. Today we're taking a look at our mud flap delete kit for the 19 to 24 GMC Sierra 1500. The factory mud flaps on this truck hang down way past the body line. That really limits your turning radius with a larger tire, and it also takes away from the overall sleekness that the truck has. But we've got the solution for you. Rough Country's factory mud flap delete kit is going to integrate perfectly in with the factory fender flare, and it's going to install using factory hardware and supplied self-tapping screws. Each piece is UV resistant to avoid fading and is built from a tri-blend ABS for strength and durability. Right out of the box, your trim tape is already installed on the part to ensure a snug fit directly against the body panels. Each kit is going to include your front mud flap delete as well as deletes for the fore and aft section of the rear. Installation is simple. There is minor cutting involved in the front, but I'm going to walk you right through that and it's going to be a breeze. Now these can be installed with the tires on the vehicle, but to make my life a little easier and so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to pull the tires off the truck, we'll get it in the air and get to installing. First, we're going to remove the factory front mud flap. It's held in by 1, 2, 3 T15 Torx bolts and a 10mm. We'll get those out of the way. There's one body clip here, so we'll have to give it a nice tug, snap it out. Now that we've got the front mud flap removed, there is a bracket behind the wheel liner we'll need to remove. We've got another T15 and then we've got 4 13mm bolts. We're going to draw a line from the bottom of this tab down to where the angular metal meets the bottom of the fender. Then we'll place our masking tape, make our cut, and paint our bare metal to avoid rust. Now you want to make this cut neat, but it doesn't have to be dead precise. The mud flap delete is going to cover this section, and if you chose to go back to the factory mud flap, it would also cover this section. This is just going to ensure that we have that little bit of extra clearance we need. I'm going to use a body saw, but you could use a hacksaw or a die grinder or a sawzall, just anything to get that corner cut nice and smooth. Noise alert. Next, we need to trim this inner felt liner flush with the bottom of the frame that's behind it. You can do that with a utility knife, or I'm going to use the body saw. All right, now we're ready to install our front mud flap delete. We're going to do that using the factory hardware at this point. Once we get that started, we will rotate the mud flap delete into place. At that point, we'll pull the backing from our tape, snug it up against the body, and then we'll put our self-tapper in this location. Now you're going to be tempted to go ahead and pull this tape before you position. Don't do that. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you put it into position, then take your flap and pull it out afterwards. Put it into position. There we go. All right, now we'll take our tape backing off. That's going to complete our installation of our mud flap delete on the front. The passenger side installs the same way. I'm really happy with this gap. You're probably gonna be inclined to want to push this up flush, but don't. They come with a gap from the factory, as you can see here on the rear. All right, now we're ready to install our rear mud flap delete. So let's grab those. Our rears are going to be a simple unbolt, remove the mud flap, and replace with the delete. Each mud flap is going to have 4 of the T15 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 body clip. We'll get these unbolted, give it a tug, snap that body clip out, and replace with the delete. All right, now I'm going to position my gap to mimic the factory, get it set in place, And we'll go ahead and pull our tape backing off. We'll repeat that process on the rear, and installation of our mud flap deletes is going to be complete. All right, that completes the installation of our mud flap delete kit. Let's get the tires on this truck and get it on the ground. And there you have it, simple installation with dramatic results. Great looks and increased functionality with an increased turning radius on larger tires. The mud flap delete kit for the 19 to 24 GMC Sierra 1500. Get yours today at roughcountry.com.